up, you two? Good morning, it's a new day. It's your main man, Mr. Council, back with another one. It's my new theme song, y'all. Come on, man.
Come on, relax your mind. Kick back and just unwind. Don't let this moment overcome you, cause you need this vibe. Music, it takes me there. Places where I don't care. I'm overflowing in this motion. You can't help but stare. Flowing like up and down. Spinning around and round. Back up and touch the ground. I'm making, but I can't sit down. Moving from side to side. Feel good cause I'm alive. Don't you feel jealous? Just get up and help me hit this fire.
Feel good today. It's another day to be alive.
Takes me away when I'm wired.
Blessed to be breathing today. Come on.
Stay up when I'm tired. This music got me on fire.
Cut the music. That's an incredible joint off my latest project, Better Man Chronicles Volume 1. Make sure you check it out, man. It's another Saturday. We're back at it again. I'm excited just because I'm alive. It's no real reason to be. Outside of that, I feel blessed just to be back with you again. I want to go ahead and jump right in. Today, I want to talk about trusting God's timing. Many people walk around proclaiming to be God-fearing people. That's how many of us were raised. I think a lot of us get caught up in a lot of sayings, and we make it seem like, or we make it appear as if we're living a particular way when we're really living in fear. If you are someone who's being led by God, the only way to access everything He's trying to do through you is to trust Him. And a lot of times that's one of the hardest things in the world that we can actually do, because He's not something we can see or touch or actually hear. It's something that you have that you have to believe on the inside. Something that we've been taught to believe, and oftentimes through experience we begin to understand. But I don't think people really walk by faith and trust God the way they say. It took me a long time to get to the place where I am in being led by God. What we have to understand is all the gifts and talents that we have were given to us. It's not something that we did. It's something that was pre-programmed in us at birth. Specific gifts and talents, and we were all given something different. It's our job to figure out what that is and to work at actually honing that craft, that skill, that gift, that talent, and being led by God to the place where you're supposed to be, to where you're supposed to be the most useful with those gifts and talents. Life is a struggle. It's very hard, and we've all gone through things, and so most of us in general have trust issues. We have trust issues with other people. It's hard a lot of times to even trust ourselves, because we know ourselves, we know our strengths, and we most importantly know our weaknesses. And so life is a difficult journey to navigate. But when you understand, when you come to the understanding that God is in ultimate control, that is the place where you will be able to begin and focus on who you are, what you're supposed to do, and actually what your mission is while you're here. I've been on a journey of education for 20 plus years, and also a journey in the music game for the same amount of time. And I've learned a lot throughout that journey. But one thing that I've learned the most is that I have to put all my faith in God, that He is leading me in the right direction. And the only way that we can truly do that is to get ourselves in the best physical shape, so ultimately we can be in the best mental shape to actually understand what God is trying to do through us. I keep hearing the term manifest. It's a new buzz phrase, a new buzzword that's been floating around the internet. And people think if they just believe something hard enough, that it's going to come true. They don't have to actually do anything. They don't actually have to work towards what they want. They just feel like if I think about it hard enough, that's manifesting it and God will bring it to me. If I pray for a man or a woman hard enough, he's going to fall on my lap. God is going to send him to me. And that's just not how things work. You have to have faith in God that he is going to carry you and bring you the things that you desire and the things that you want. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to work for those things. Anything that you want, you have to work for. I think it was Enki Johnson who said, don't wish for something more than you're willing to work for it. Don't wish for something more than you're actually willing to work for it. That's one of the most powerful things that I've heard in the past couple of weeks, because I see so many people saying all the things that they want, but when you talk to them about what they're actually doing to get it, it's nothing but crickets. I've been working hard for a long time. But for a long time, I didn't understand that things were not always in my control. Like, there were certain things that I could definitely do to prepare myself and equip myself for battle in this world, but I cannot do it on my own. And I listen to a lot of people, and one thing that's missing from what they're giving us is a lot of people that work hard feel as if that it was their power that got them to where they are in life. And that's just the furthest thing from the truth. The fact that they work hard and they stay focused and they have plans, whatever, all that's well and good. But it's a lot of people that have worked hard. It's a lot of people that have made plans. It's a lot of people that have sacrificed their life, their money, their time, and all their resources into something just to sit back and see it not come to fruition. And we have to understand that the only time that we're going to be ready is when God says we're ready, because he's the only one who ultimately knows where he wants us and how he needs us. And we have to understand that if we're not in the place that we feel that we're destined to be, it's because we still have some work to do on the inside. And it took me a long time to come to grips with that. I still got work to do. And that's why I don't worry anymore about when it's going to happen, because I have to be patient, but I have to work hard in the process. But one thing I've learned along the way is that you have to learn to love the process, because in the process, you should be getting better as a person on the inside. So once you're where you're supposed to be, all of the work that you've done can be magnified without you even having to say much. It's going to exude through you naturally. See, people notice things that you're doing. That's a lot of times why you have haters once you become more successful, because when somebody's hating on you, it says more about what's going on with them than it is about you. Because a lot of times it's people around you that are hating on you. People that you grew up with, people that you're in your family, people that you're very close to, or people that you might not necessarily like, but they're close to your life. Those are the people that are most hating on you. And a lot of times those people are hating because they don't understand how somebody like you that comes from where they are catapulting yourself to another level, but they're still stuck in the same place. It's almost unbelievable to them. And when they see you, they almost have to diminish it to make themselves feel better about the fact that they're not doing what they should be doing. They're not working as hard as they should be working, so they're throwing rocks and stones at your house and hiding their hand. And it's incredible, and you have to understand that. So when you understand that, then you don't worry about the haters. You only worry about the people that are feeding into you, because you should be worried about people that you're feeding into. So you can't worry about the hatred. That's going to come. As a matter of fact, you ain't doing something right until you have some haters. And that's a hard pill to swallow, especially when you realize that those haters are right in your circle or closer to your life than you would like them to be. But if you don't worry about the hate and you focus on the positive energy, nothing that they say or do can affect your journey if you don't allow it. I used to be so quick-tempered when I was young. I used to have to prove my point to people and make you, no, you're going to understand what I'm saying. No, you're going to, I've thrown up my hands at this point. And I've just become a actual representation of hard work. Anybody that knows me knows what I put into everything that I do. And so I don't have to worry about telling people. And the people that really don't understand that, it really doesn't matter, because their opinions don't matter to me. What Steve Harvey said, somebody else's opinion of you is none of your business. It has nothing to do with me, your opinion of me. My job is to foster and actually grow in the gifts that God has given me, and do everything I can to put myself out there so I can be in the place where he wants me to be, to actually shine. And it's not about me shining, it's about my gift shining. I used to sing in church a lot. And after the service was done, I would always slip out the back, because at the end of the service, I never wanted to be the center of attention, because I wasn't doing it to impress people. I was doing it, I was using my gift to serve the Lord. And so it would be frustrating when people would come up and congratulate me and all this other stuff. Ladies be flirting with me and all this. And I'm like, that's not why I'm doing this. I'm just doing this in service of the Lord. Now, yes, when I'm out in clubs and doing my thing singing, I want people to appreciate my music, but it's not about me, because fame is the last thing that I want. I'm a very, very private person, so having my life thrusted out there is not ideal. I don't want to live under a microscope. But if you're truly living the right way and doing the right things, you shouldn't matter who's trying to pick apart your life, because their opinion doesn't matter at the end of the day. Your gift and how it's going to be used ultimately is the only thing that's important. And you have to learn to trust God's timing. God is like a parent. You're growing up. If you notice, your parents make you do certain things that you don't want to do. But if you stop and think about it later on, they were doing those things to help you, to help build you, because they went through things that you had never gone through. So they knew you were going to need to go through certain experiences to equip you for situations that you weren't going to see coming. And that's the same thing God is doing for us. Yes, God could have thrust me out there at the age of 23 to be a famous R&B singer. But would I have been ready to accept all the responsibilities and things that come along with it? I doubt it. I wouldn't have been ready. And so his gift actually would have turned into a curse. Because there's so many people that are rich and famous, but they are miserable because they are living a life that's not the one that they actually thought they were going to have. See, so many people are focused on the money and the cars and the jewelry and the people that come along with being famous. They never stop and think about the responsibilities of being famous and what it could actually cost you if you make mistakes. They didn't stop to see those things. And so now when they're confronted with those things, it brings on depression. Imagine being a millionaire and having all the things that you want, anything that you want at your grasp, but still not be happy. I'm not going to say that's more miserable than being poor, because it's not. But what I'm saying is, it's got to be a messed up place to be mentally if you've attained all the things that you wanted monetarily, but nothing that you want spiritually. Come on, man. Come on. You have to trust when you're being led by God. You have to trust in him that he is taking you to the right places. But in the meantime, while you're waiting, you can't just be sitting and waiting, doing nothing, thinking about nothing, exploring nothing. You have to fill your mind with all the knowledge that you can about your gift, practice and focus on your gift and your craft, and continue to put yourself out there. And then when he tells you to move, you have to be open to hear him so you can listen. And you're not going to hear actual words coming out of somebody's mouth like it's another human being speaking to you. It's going to be through the actions of the world and the things around you that are going on. And so when people talk about manifesting things, if you're not in a physical, mental, and spiritual place to be able to attain that, it's not going to come. You just wishing for it and saying it over again and posting about it, it ain't going to do nothing. It's not going to change nothing. So all it's going to bring in the end is more disappointment. Because you're going to feel like God is not listening to me or he forgot about me. And you have to understand that half the time we're waiting on God when the truth is he's sitting back waiting on us. If you want to think about it, blame yourself. I heard a preacher say that the other day. Man, it knocked me off my feet. We so busy worried about waiting on God when God's sitting back frustrated waiting on us because we not who he wants us to be to put us where he needs us to be. Come on. We don't get it yet. Some of us just don't get it. He's waiting on us to be the type of person that we need to be so we can handle all of the responsibilities that comes with the gifts that he gives us. It's not just going to be roses and sunshine when you make it. The work is going to catapult. It's going to get more. It's going to be more people that demand things from you. It's going to be more people that want things from you. It's going to be more situations that come around that you may not be equipped to handle. So why is he going to put you in the middle of some mess that you can't handle? So if you keep begging and begging and begging and begging for it, eventually you might be thrust out there before you're ready and you're going to lose it all like so many people in the past have. We don't stop and pay attention to the mistakes that people have made around us. I was fortunate to have an older brother who's still here and I love to death. But he had to go through and make a lot of mistakes that I had to be open to learning from because he was first. I didn't have my father around, so oftentimes I looked to my older brother to learn a lot of things. And it wasn't just the things that he said to me, it was the things that he actually went through that helped me become the person who I am today. And so if you're not opening to listening to the things that are going on around you and observing and paying attention, you're never going to get the things. You're never going to learn what you need to learn to be where ultimately you need to be. So stop making it seem as if you're waiting on God when he's waiting on you to become the best version of yourself so you can handle the things that come along with your gifts. Come on. I'm running a little long today, but I don't care. Somebody needs to hear this. I don't care if it's 3 people that hear this. One of those 3 people are going to receive it and do something with it. And that's the goal of what I'm trying to do every Saturday. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here as long as God wants me here, passing on this message, because it's not about me. It's not about me teaching something to you. It's about me passing on what I've learned from somebody else and through my own experiences. We have to understand that God knows what he's doing. And if you don't trust that, then you're not a true believer of God. And if you can't have the patience to wait and work hard and prepare yourself for what's coming, you're never going to get what you're looking for. So if I can motivate you today, you have to trust God in the process, because he sees things coming that you can't see, and he needs certain things to be instilled in you so you can be prepared when those things come, so you can handle them with grace and maturity and class. We're looking for solutions over here. I'm not just going to continue preaching. The more and more that I do these, I'm going to start giving you guys some tips and certain things that I've learned all along the way from other people, and also things that I developed myself that you can actually do to put into practice to actually learn, because I'm putting my life on display through this. This is not only for you, it's also for me, to keep myself accountable on my journey to becoming a better man. Ultimately, that's what I want to be at the end of the day. No, I'm not perfect, and I'm not preaching to you as if I'm some God or some higher being than you. I'm just like you. I'm in the trenches. But part of one of my duties is to help encourage people along the way. So I'm going to do that as long as God continues to call me to do it, because I know I'm doing it through him. And I'm watching all of the things that go on around me so I can be prepared and pass forward good knowledge instead of just running my mouth over here, because that's not what I'm doing. Anybody that's truly listening to what I'm saying, you know I'm passing on some good fruit. So be courageous today. Be great today. Work hard today. But at the end of the day, trust God in the process, because it's who you're becoming along the journey, not the destination. A great man once said, the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. So keep climbing. Keep working hard. Keep doing all the things that God has put inside you to do. Continue to prepare yourself and work hard, so when it is your time, things will come and manifest greater than you ever thought that they could. Because I never thought I'd be on here and YouTube. If you asked me a few years ago, 2 years ago, I never thought I'd be on YouTube doing what I'm doing now. Trying to motivate people in this space. I used to run from being a speaker of this magnitude. But now I'm embracing it, because I know that that's what God wants for me. That's part of it. And who knows how I'm going to get to what I feel, but it's not about what I feel at the end of the day. You got to remove yourself completely and allow God to use you in the way that He sees fit. But you have to be prepared in the waiting room. You have to be prepared while you're waiting on Him. Because if you really stop and think about it, He's the one waiting on you to be better. That's my time, y'all. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Sharing these videos is the only way that's going to help me grow this channel. I'm going to get this video out to as many people as possible and try to fight through the video. I hope you're still here with me all the way to the end. Some of you, somebody that's really taking something away from these videos. And I appreciate every one of you for the likes, the shares, and everything that you've done along my journey. That's my time. Peace to all my people in the struggle.